Houthi fighters preparing to leave the port of Hodeidah. The UN confirmed the rebel group has started to redeploy its forces from the strategic port, a gateway for humanitarian aid. So far, the move is unilateral, but the Houthis say they expect reciprocity from coalition forces led by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates.
Now the ball is in the court of the United Nations, Yemen's internationally recognized government, and the Yemeni people, in order to perform a cycle of pressure on the parties who are being an obstacle. Future agreements cannot be reached unless the countries of aggression and mercenaries commit to the implementation of this agreement.
The coalition-backed Yemeni government says the redeployment of fighters is a ploy by the Houthis to deceive the international community. It says the rebel group is handing over the port to its allies. Plans for fighters to pull out were brokered by a UN-led committee under the Stockholm Agreement, a pact established between the rival combatants last December. But it was a fragile peace deal, with sporadic fighting soon resuming in and around Hodeidah.
Even if Hodeidah does come off, if the withdrawal does come off on both sides, that still leaves the whole of the rest of the country that needs to be sorted out. And there are many different warring factions, not just the two that are involved in this agreement. They have to be brought in too. The Southerners have to be brought in too. And so there's a very long way to go before we can start to talk about a peace that can be rolled out.
Fighting between rival factions has led to the world's worst humanitarian crisis, according to the UN, with more than 2/3 of the population in need of aid. It's still early to say whether this latest twist in a more than 4-year conflict will signal a significant move towards lasting peace. Ijeoma, Ndukwe, Al Jazeera.